So hello everyone. In this video we will be talking about the purity of precipitate. Alright. In the previous video we talked about gravimetry, its principle and the various steps which are being involved, like the formation of the precipitate followed by filtration, washing off, and finally the precipitate is being weighed. Alright. So in this video we will talk about the factors which affect the purity of that precipitate. So now there are two main factors which affect the purity. The first one is co-precipitation and the second one is post-precipitation. Now both of these factors are very much important, so we will discuss about them in detail, and that is what we are going to talk about in this video. So now let us begin. So firstly we will talk about co-precipitation. Okay, so the word co itself means that something which is present along with the other thing. All right. So when soluble impurities also get included in the precipitate during the process of precipitation, it is known as co-precipitation. It leads to an increase in the mass of the precipitate. All right. So this means that whenever along with the required precipitate some other kind of substance also gets precipitated out, so that is known as the co-precipitation. All right. So now this co-precipitation is further of different types. Now we are going to discuss those types in detail. Okay, so different types of co-precipitation are, okay, the first one is adsorption. Now adsorption, from the name itself it is clear that any precipitate gets adsorbed. For example, we have this precipitate which is being formed. Now on the surface of this precipitate, if some other impurity gets adsorbed, okay, that is known as adsorption, and adsorption is a type of co-precipitation. So this adsorption is dependent on the surface area of the precipitate. Okay, so more the surface area, more is the adsorption. Lesser the surface area, lesser is the adsorption. Okay, so if the surface area of the particles will be less, adsorption will be less. So if adsorption is less, that means co-precipitation is less, and that means the uh, our precipitate will be more pure. Now colloidal particles, that means the particles which have very small size, so they have large surface area which facilitates adsorption of different types of ions impurities in the primary layer, whereas in case of crystalline precipitates with large surface area, they have lower incidence of adsorption. All right. So that is what is going on. So the more the surface area, more will be the adsorption, and more will be the precipitate will be more impure. The lesser the surface area, the lesser will be adsorption, and the more will be the precipitate pure. All right. So I hope this thing is clear to you. This is the first type of our co-precipitation. Now we will also talk about the remedy which we can do to avoid this kind of effect. So in order to prevent adsorption, what we can do, washing of colloidal particles have to be done to remove the adsorbed impurities. This is what we can do to prevent this adsorption. And washing step of gravimetry we have already talked in the previous video of gravimetry. So like how, which kind of solutions we use to wash our precipitate, so that is what is happening over here. Now let us move on to the second type of co-precipitation, which is occlusion. This is also an important topic. So occlusion is a type of co-precipitation in which a foreign ion gets trapped or occluded within a pocket formed during the rapid crystal growth. So I hope this is clear to you. So whenever the crystals are being formed, okay, so some kind of particle may get entrapped between these crystals. So this is what is known as occlusion. This is a type of co-precipitation which occurs during the rapid crystal growth, which is a step of our precipitation. Like when we have discussed this step in the steps in gravimetry, there was a separate step in which we have discussed about the formation of the precipitate. So in that we discussed that how the crystals come together and aggregate. So in that step, sometimes what happens that a foreign ion or impurity might get trapped in between the particles. So this is known as occlusion. So now let us talk about the remedy which we can do to prevent occlusion. Okay, so it can be prevented by keeping the rate of precipitation and supersaturation low, and digestion of precipitates also prevent occlusion. So these are the steps which we can do to prevent occlusion. And digestion also we have talked in the previous video. This was also an important topic. So now let us move on to the third type of co-precipitation, which is mixed crystal formation. Okay, so in this what happens that one of the ions in the crystal lattice of the solid is replaced by ion of another element. All right, so for example, this is the crystal lattice of an solid. So in this one, some other ion gets replaced. This is known as mixed crystal formation. Mixed crystal contamination in the precipitation of barium as barium sulfate in the presence of lead ions. All right. So for example, here barium precipitate is being formed as barium sulfate, so there might be formation of some lead sulfate as well. Here barium ion gets replaced by the lead one, so that is what is mixed crystal formation. Okay, so now let us talk about the remedy of our mixed crystal formation. So it can be prevented by separating the analyte from the contaminating ions before the precipitation process. Yes, so before the precipitation of barium as barium sulfate, we can separate the lead ions from the solution, so that the final precipitate will only be of barium and not of lead. All right. So I hope this thing is clear to you. Now let us move to the final type or the fourth type of co-precipitation, which is known as the mechanical entrapment. So here what happens that when a number of crystals growing together come close to each other, a portion of solution gets entrapped in the pockets between the crystals. This is called mechanical entrapment. So this is very much similar to occlusion. So in occlusion, what happens that any kind of foreign particle was getting entrapped between the crystals. So here what is happening that a part of the solution gets entrapped in the pockets between the crystals. This is mechanical entrapment. It is very much similar to occlusion, therefore its remedy is also same as that of occlusion. So up to now we have talked about co-precipitation, and it is of four types: adsorption, occlusion, mixed crystal formation and mechanical entrapment. Now let us move on to the post precipitation. So this is the second factor which affects the purity of our precipitate. So we will talk about this in detail, because this is also an important topic. So when the precipitate is allowed to stand in the presence of mother liquid, a second substance will form the precipitate with the precipitating agent. This is known as post precipitation. All right. So I hope this is clear to you from the theory part, that whenever in our solution our precipitates have been formed, so if we keep that precipitate in the solution for a long time, some other substance also use the precipitating agent to form up the precipitate. This is known as post precipitation. All right. So post means after, which takes place after the precipitation and has already occurred. So this is called the post precipitation. Now impurity has the same properties as that of the analyte precipitate. For example, during the precipitation of calcium oxalate, magnesium oxalate impurity gets deposited on it. Okay. So though calcium oxalate precipitates out alone acceptably in the presence of magnesium ions, but if precipitates are kept for a long time in contact with the solution containing magnesium ions, then magnesium oxalate deposits on the calcium oxalate precipitate. All right. It says that whenever we have to precipitate out calcium oxalate from a solution, and that solution has magnesium ions, so calcium oxalate can be easily separated. But if after the formation of the precipitate of calcium oxalate, it is allowed to stand in that mother liquid for a long time, then magnesium ions also get precipitated out in the form of magnesium oxalate, and they deposit on calcium oxalate precipitate. All right. So firstly the calcium oxalate precipitates were already formed, but when they were allowed to stand in the mother liquid for a long time, then magnesium precipitates also get formed, and they start depositing on the calcium oxalate precipitate. This is known as the post precipitation. So now let us talk about the remedy which we can do to prevent the post precipitation. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to filter off the calcium oxalate precipitate within the first hour of precipitation. Now it is very much simple only, that our post precipitation was occurring when the precipitate was allowed to stand in the mother liquid for a long time. So after the formation of precipitate, if we remove it at before a certain time, then the post precipitation can be avoided. Okay. So I hope this thing is clear to you. So this was all in this video. I hope you liked it, and thanks for watching.